Hi, I'm Ian. I do Joomla websites full time, but about half my work is also in education, where I build online learning, normally within Joomla. So, got a new client who wanted to migrate their site from Virtuemart, which is a standalone application, to Joomla. I actually took this rollover when they'd already converted most of the site to 1.5, but he was very unhappy with the person who was doing the web development because they were out-farming most of it to Pakistan, and he'd asked for a simple change and it would take multiple days. So he got me on board. But in the meantime, he'd been talking to other developers and he decided that 2.5 was the way to go. And I tried to convince him that no, really he shouldn't, but no, he had to go. So that meant I had to go to Joomla 2, because Joomla 1.9 is not compatible with 2.5. And I asked that question on that slide very seriously: is it still beta? Now, most of you will want to, or most of you probably will be upgrading from 1.9. But if you're going to 2.5, you have no choice. But if you're on 1.5 and you're using Joomla Virtuemart 1.9, don't change. Wait. There's a long list of improvements that they will try and sell you about Virtuemart, and I've given a URL to that long list. But I think there's some fundamental issues with it, and I wouldn't do it. But some of the advantages are single cart. Of course, you can buy a single cart as an add-on to Virtuemart for 1.9. And it's got better templing overrides, which is true, which is very good. And that part I like. Now, I thought I'd go through how to upgrade. This list is produced by one of the users on the forum, and I've modified it slightly because I found that you couldn't migrate all the products unless everybody had a manufacturer. So you've got to make sure your data is all up to date before you migrate. If you migrate, you'll lose it. So the store that I'm dealing with had 4,500 products. Only 3,500 went across. But I found out that was simply because those 1,000 objects didn't have a manufacturer associated with them. So once you go through the process properly, you can actually get all the products across. But it's not a clean take across because you don't bring across attributes and you don't bring across second, third or fourth photos. You only bring across the primary photo. All the photos are there, but you've got to re-add them later. And I'm employing someone in Indonesia to do that. And all they've got to do is look at the old site, look at the new site, and find those photos and upload them. So it's a good job for Indonesians, or anyone on a lower wage. So the main thing to do when you're upgrading is you create the new folders. You'll notice I've put up there the new folders that you create within the image directory. And you have the old directories, you drag them across into the new Virtuemart, and then it'll find them all. If you don't do that, then when you do the upgrade, all the images will be lost. I had a lot of trouble with category, but since I only had 32 categories, only about 4 or 5 of the images actually came across. And I was going to troubleshoot, and I thought, oh, bugger it. It's 32 categories, that's not very many images to re-upload. So I didn't bother about that, but I wanted to make sure I had all the images across for the category, for the individual products, and I got them all across. So that was good, at least. Now, the thing about this is that the databases have been named separately. So the prefix to the database for Virtuemart 1 and Virtuemart 2 are different. So you have them both on the same database, and you've got to have them on the same database to do the migration. So it will take and convert all the data from your one site to 2, and it does it very well. If things go wrong, you can redo it, and you can redo it, and you can redo it. I did it about 10 times with various different things, because it's easy. Just, okay, delete the old database, create the new database, go. And believe me, it's all fine, because this was on a copy, so I didn't have to worry about destroying anything. But it works well once you get it. And there's large timeout issues, especially with 4,500 objects, but you just keep redoing it and it remembers which one it's done. Sometimes it doesn't remember and you've got double the amount of products. I found one of the issues with when you're getting near the end, the auto-counting of the SQL database. You have to be careful of that, otherwise all your products will be misnumbered. But basically it is, if it fails, redo it. Just delete the old database and redo it, because it's got the tools in there. You don't have to worry about going into PHP, MyAdmin, and deleting tables and things. It's got a button for you. And that actually, I thought, the migration process is something they actually thought about. Sorry, previous slide. I was just showing how you had to put in the correct folders under Virtuemart. So it goes into images, stories, Virtuemart, and then you put in the correct categories. These other ones that are here have been created by the software as you add extra fields, extra categories and things. Like you've got payment and shipment, and it does that all itself. You only need to bring in those 3. These are the ones that contain the photographs. So the upgrade tools. The hint is, which it doesn't work unless you do it, is to click that box. The update tools are not active until you click that box, which is under configuration. Okay? Which is good, because it's considering it's so powerful to destroy your site. And these are the upgrade tools. So you can see you can reset all the tables and do a fresh install, which you will use a lot. Then you can restore all the defaults, you can remove all the data, so all the different combinations of manipulating the database. So you play around and play around. Because it's on a copy, it's on a separate fields with separate prefix, you're not affecting original data. So you can keep going until you actually find out what combination actually works. Now, some of the good things, the CSS, that's the main CSS that you have to use to restyle your shop, and that you place in your template CSS, and then you've got to make sure you turn off the using Virtuemart CSS, which is in the configuration. Otherwise, it'll use both of them, which gets really confusing, I can tell you. There you go. Why is it? Yeah, anyway. So that's the one you've got to turn off. Okay, template overrides. It does them very well, and that, I think, is one of the better things. Because you're using template overrides, whenever you do an upgrade, it will retain your original changes. Okay, so you place into your template folder, in the HTML folder, under com Virtuemart, you put the PHP, default.php file. So it's the same name folder, same name file for each folder, but of course you grab it from that particular folder in Virtuemart and just copy it across. Then that will override. But because there's been so many upgrades, I actually do a file comparison whenever there's an upgrade to make sure there's been nothing major. Okay. Now here are some of the problems. When you go to upload a graphic, you use the find file, you find your graphic, you go terrific, you click a button and nothing happens. Why? Because it defaults to not uploading. You can see it defaults to image action no. even though you can go and find it. Why in the hell would you go to and upload a graphic and the default is don't upload it? You go, something wrong there. I uploaded 4 or 5 graphics and wondered, what's happening? Why is there no graphic up? Because the default's stupid. Anyway, this thing I hate, which a lot of people in the forums hate, you cannot, in the old Virtuemart, you had the choice of putting in pre-GST or post-GST price. Like if you wanted to sell it for $70, you typed in 70 and it would then work out the pre-GST price. Not anymore. You've got to put in the pre-GST price. There is no choice. And that's a real pain. There's been a lot of discussion on the forum, but they seem to be sticking to that. It makes it easier when you're jumping through currencies. Like if you've got multiple currency site, it makes it much easier and they're sticking with it. So I think that's a negative. Because every time you put a product up, I want to sell it for $20, you have to do your division. Then you have to do it to about 5 decimal places or more to get it to round up correctly, so that you've got more than 3 decimal, you have to have at least 5 decimal places to make sure it rounds correctly. Pain. When you go through it, and I'll go through a live site in a minute, whenever you go through the, when you add something to your cart, you get a pop-up window, and that's the pop-up window you get. Beautifully styled, of course. I haven't got around to styling it yet, but you have no choice. You have to have that pop-up window. Now, this is the cart, and you say, are there any issues here? Is there a problem here? You forgot your password. Why is that under username? Just style things. Why is it under username? Why is it I forgot my username underneath the password? I can log on, but how do I, if I've never been there before, how do I create an account? What button there tells me how to create an account? Can you see one? I can't. And this is where you check out. Now, given most size websites, that's below the file, that's below the screen. So you don't actually see it. You have to scroll down to find out where to check out. It just annoys people. If you're doing e-commerce, you want the person to be able to go, yep, I'll click on that one, I'll click on that one. Getting excited as they buy their product. No, you've got to scroll around, you've got to figure it out, you get confused. I get confused. So if you're wondering how you actually create an account, you click on billing address, of course. And when you click on your billing address, it says, oh, you can put in your username and all your details. Not good. And also, notice this green button down here? They've done away with the all the different coloured graphics, add to carts. You now have a green button. And that's it. It's green. It's styled in the CSS. If you want to change it, you've got to go to the CSS. Actually, I think I said that on the next slide. Yep. The buttons are styled in CSS. So, hey, but I don't want green on my purple site. Yeah. Why that isn't in the categories, why you can't set that up in the admin and just change the colours, it's hardwired. Well, CSS, you can change the CSS. Big bugbear of mine and my clients, and it's been fixed in 1.17 or something or other in the past, but it's come back again. You're going around your categories and you're on to page 6 and you're looking at it. You think, all right, I want to change categories. Well, you change categories and you go to page 6 of that next category, not to page 1. And it's just crazy navigation. They are aware of it. And of course, we suffer from American dates. You can't change that. And the other thing is the small number of merchants to take your money. It's PayPal and a few others. But that probably will change. If you ever use Virtuemart to download products, not anymore. They've removed that. So I think that's a bad move as well. Because I actually use Virtuemart to download free products, just so that I capture people's username and password, their usernames and details, then they can download the product, but I can't do that anymore. And the admin area looks nice, but it really is complicated once you start using it. So I thought I might show you some of this. So this is the old site. I should do it as a refresh, because it's got animated GIFs. Yay! But it works. It's just it's looking old, and it's losing some functionality. But it's got animated GIFs all over the place. You should be able to put these kind of things into a time frame, I think, when they were all popular. So this is the new site. This is still in beta. It's still not live. As you can see from the address, it's at something called Lottie. It will replace this one, obviously. Show you the issues I've got. Like, pick a topic, any topic. Go to books. There's a few books there. So you click on, say, page 7. So now we're on page 7 of books. Let's go to Jay Sankey. I don't know how many pages Jay Sankey has got. But Jay Sankey's got less than 7, so naturally you go to page 5, because it's the top, not page 1. And obviously if you really do like your animated GIFs to add to carts, you have to obviously modify the CSS. So I got rid of the green buttons. Using template overrides. In fact, all of that is template overrides, the way it looks. Now you'll notice that, that's the next error I'm tracking down. I just clicked add to cart. Now you sometimes get show cart and sometimes you don't. How do you track this error down? Yep, you'll notice that also the cart is empty. Cart's still empty. Let's click on add to cart again. I've got it now. Now that's the same button. I've done nothing else, didn't do a refresh, just clicked again. And also I don't have the add to cart on up here. Click again. I've got show cart now. I'm really happy with this software. How do I track that down? I have no idea.
Does it press 3 times?
No, it's random. So we have to be Irish, I suppose, to be sure. Here you are, look, that's the second click. Okay, so it's beta. It really is beta. Let's have a look at the cart. Let's have a look at this famous cart. You ever try to convince your client that maybe that shouldn't be there when they've already been impressed, they're already buying your product? Can't I hide that while you're going through the checkout process? Oh no, I like that. But it's distracting from the process of buying. No. Okay, all right, you pay me. So you can see, all you can see is log in on this particular site screen. And where's everything I have to do? Because this one thing is this bloody thing is in the way, but anyway. So right down here, is the checkout now.
Why is there such a big delay?
Good question. I haven't styled this at all. This is the default page. This is the, haven't touched this yet. I've been working on getting them to the cart. Now I'll work on the cart. But I've got to convince him to get rid of that. Anyway, you can log in, but okay, let's add our billing address. Big picture in the way again. Here we go. Now you'll notice this particular button, okay, it's taking the template button. That's the template style button. Well, why doesn't it do it for the other buttons? Why have they got their own green button? It's got nothing to do with the template. Here they've taken the template button, but not elsewhere. Why? Why? So here you can register with all the normal kind of things. Oh, these kinds of things, they're just me throwing a bit of JavaScript. Okay. The other issue I want to show you. Oh yeah, most of the styling is not good. You actually have to do the overrides. This is looking at a particular product, and again, that's not finished yet because it shouldn't be up there. But anyway, so the CSS overrides are pretty good. You can virtually do anything you want. The back end, probably have to log in again. So they've taken the Joomla approach and got pretty buttons. Products. Now, this is, as you can see, they've now done the Joomla kind of approach, even though it's not at the front end. You can click this to do the upgrade, and it's a very good upgrade. It does work. Problem is, I'm on 2.0.3.b, which is the latest beta release. So I keep finding that I have to go to beta to get anything working. They've only just fixed the ability to sort. Before that it only sorted on the ID. Now it actually sorts correctly. But then I figured out that it doesn't really matter the only main thing you want sorted is your categories. Categories you need sorted because that's how you present. Like over here I've got these categories are sorted and are correctly sorted. But products really don't need to be sorted because, oh by the way, that's just a bit of JavaScript as well. Because you can here tell it in the back end what you want the objects sorted by. As you can see, I've only chosen 2, but you can sort by anything, including SKUs and date added, date modified, date released, all those kinds of things. So you can have a huge long list of sort by. And you can tell it which to default by, and I've got it default by modified date. That's because the client wants to be able to, and this was a problem, the old one as well, which is this is praise actually. Don't get me wrong, it does do some things okay. Coming soon. He wants to be able to tell people what new magic tricks are coming up, and when they are available, he wants to change them from being coming up to being available and put it into new releases. Now the old Virtuemart, because you'd had it around for 3 or 4 weeks, wasn't new anymore because it had been up for 3 weeks, even though it hadn't been available. So it would, when you went to look at new releases, it was down maybe even on the second page. when it was actually the latest release, because you'd already pre-advertised that it was coming. But now you can modify, you can sort by released, modified date. So if it's modified and it's the latest one modified, it will be at the top. So that solves that problem. And it works well. That part actually works well. Now the other thing is, if any of you, this is a complete migration from 1.5 to 2.5. And I must say I was quite happy with it. It's the first migration I've done. I used, SP upgrade, and it did a very good job. I'd recommend it. I actually read through there's the free one and SP upgrade you have to pay for. And I went through all the forums, and there was a lot of bad things to say about the JUG upgrade. But SP upgrade had good reports, so I tried it, and it's worth every penny. It just went bang in one hit. Everything migrated over, all the articles did. In fact, all the art gallery, all the gallery came across as well. And since this is Fokker Gallery, since it's compatible with 2.5, everything came across. It's really easy. That was about the easiest part. Okay, that's it. My experience so far, not entirely wonderful. Any questions?
There are no other shopping carts.
Yeah, there are. There's Tilda, and I actually had a look at. A lot of people were recommending a PHP shop, which can integrate into Joomla. But I actually installed it, had a look at it, and it had all the same problems. I couldn't see much advantage over Virtuemart. No, I haven't looked at Hickershop. Is it compatible with 2.5? Yeah. I was sort of locked in because they'd already. Here you go. Any questions?
Have you tried coupons?
Yeah, coupons work.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about shipping?
No, I haven't tried shipping, simply because he emails people and say it's going to cost this much.
Right.
So, sorry, I haven't. Yeah, I'm not going to put hours to do it when it's not required.
What's the upgrading tool you said you use?
Upgrade tool?
Yeah.
SP upgrade. There's only two available. That's the only one you pay for.
The other one.
So do you think they're going to fix up the date thing? So
Oh, well, in the end, the date thing doesn't really matter, because you know the user doesn't actually see the date anywhere.
oh, all right.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that annoy me. You don't have that choice. Look, I think the pagination thing, which they reckon is fixed in the next iteration, I'll wait and see. I've been told it's been fixed in 6 latest editions, so I'll hold my breath. So the pagination thing's a problem, but the checkout page is woeful.
Is that difficult to check out later usually with the time itself?
Yeah, well, I'll pay somebody to do it. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to look at any of the product options?
No, but I did try them, and they're fine. So you can add attributes and colours and all that kind of thing.
Also, with one, you can do the Virtuemart combined download, which when I first got into it made life a lot easier. Does that exist now?
Not yet, no.
Is there any want to documentation?
No. You're on the bleeding edge. Really are.
What about did you scan around for some of the modules and plugins third party? Is there anybody?
People are getting up to speed on it. Yeah, there are a few. In fact, you can see that I've got one installed. which
You
is
were
a...
saying the cart, there's a few Ajax carts, I don't know.
No, there's no carts available at the moment.
The upgrade of all the images, you're going to get some manually add all the extra image parts. It's called it. Wouldn't it be just rather than just write a query and run against the database? So you think maybe that would save you a lot of time?
Yeah. They're not. The,
4,000 just sounds like that.
well, there wasn't very many extra images,
Oh,
but I've also got for this client, which it wasn't on the original one. There's also 1,000 videos to go up, so I'm getting that done at the same time. Yeah.
The transfer of the Joomla and the Virtuemart site from your 1.5, I think there might be some quirky problems to that occurred during the transfer. I've done 1.5 with JUG, with all the latest versions, it went seamlessly. But when I looked into when I started working with the 2.5, I found that there were certain things that weren't right, didn't quite work properly. But when I installed Virtuemart 2, I clean installed Joomla 2.5, it seemed to be really good. In fact, I seem to remember there was a download. I must have been hallucinating to say that it doesn't exist anymore.
You're talking about a package, aren't you? Joomla and 2.5 combined. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that doesn't exist yet.
No. What are you asking? I'm confused.
Oh, okay. When you've done the transfer between 1.5 and Virtuemart 1, is it possible there could be bugs that occurred during the transfer that if you had a clean install, that they wouldn't occur?
But I didn't. The upgrade.
migration of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I did was I did a clean install of 2.5, and then I migrated the tables of Virtuemart 1.1. That's actually in the list. So I did a complete clean install of 2.5, had nothing to do with 1.5. And that's how you do the J upgrade, the SP upgrade. It then migrates everything across. And then I migrated across the Virtuemart database or fields. And then did the upgrade on the same database. So it's taking the 1.5 database and putting it into the 2.
So when I've done transfers myself, I found that when it's not a clean install, there can be some problems with the database.
Well, I don't know what else I can do. It's 4,500 products. I'm not going to re-enter them.
So uploaded CSV, couldn't you export the comma-separated version and then import that?
I really don't see what the difference is. It's still a database field. If there's corruption in your CSV, it's still going to be imported across.
I wasn't suggesting that you should do it a different way.
I just don't know how else to do it.
I was selfishly thinking about myself and thinking maybe some of the problems that you encountered are specific to a transfer of data rather than when you're developing a new site.
Yeah, except for the other.
Some of them, obviously.
Yeah, except for all the other people agreeing with me on the forums.
Right.
So it's sort of safety in numbers.
Did you send any language differences, like error messages, things like that, change?
No. I haven't. There could be, but I haven't noticed it.
Seems very similar.
Hmm.
And okay, you talked about lots of bugs. So what are the differences in the bugs?
Well, as I've listed in the
Selling points.
well, as I listed in the beginning, the template overrides are very good, and because you put them into the template, then they're not being affected by any upgrade, and so you don't have to be cautious about upgrades. You can upgrade and then continue on. So that's very good. That's taking it into normal Joomla territory now. Its basic functionality is pretty good. It's just when you're getting down to actually I want someone to check out. You know, you start running into issues. I've got a bit of a problem too with. Yeah, I know.
That's a problem. When you're on a commerce site, that's a problem.
Yeah, I've got another little issue which I've got a VPS. It's reasonably okay, but I've only got 20 sites on it, so it's not exactly heavy. And the usage goes from about 0.2, there's some number, whatever it means, when you look at the usage of the CPU. It's about 0.5 normally. It goes to about 3 to 6, which is in the red zone area whenever you load this store. Only this store because it's the one with the most products. So I'm wondering about its database usage.
What does it put in memory? What does it put in memory? You've got no idea at all.
Well, this is just running it on the, you know, all I'm doing is look at server load. The memory is fine, it's just actually processing speed. It actually does massive processing when it loads, which means this thing is a bit slow to load. Yeah. But that's an aside, I can't.
It's not very responsive to the end user.
No, once it loads, it's good, because once it loads it all up.
So what loads it to your server or loads it into their browser?
Loads it into the, well, obviously it's doing both, when it loads up into the server and loads into the browser. I know, it's not the browser side that's causing the slowness because of the CPU usage. But I've done no tests on it, no definitive track problems.